Pari Sagar is a well known Indian intuitive artist based in UAE. Her journey of self healing began in the year 2000. Pari believes that true art is categorized by an irresistible urge towards creative freedom and self expression. Each one of her paintings has a story to tell that is easy to comprehend. Pari enjoys working with different mediums such as oil, acrylic, and mixed media, and likes to experiment with colors, figures, and patterns. Pari presented a solo show titled Circle of Life in 2021 and Enlightened Vision in 2018, featuring a series of new intuitive art. Apart from all this, Pari Sagar is also a numerologist. She has recently published a new book called Numerology Self Discovery Through Numbers. She holds a lot of accolades, so let's hear it from her. I would like to welcome our next guest, Pari Sagar. Thank you, Pari, for joining our podcast Towards Tomorrow despite your busy schedule. So, to give a more context to our audience, tell us more about yourself and what motivates you to create art.
Wow, so much of me. Thank you. Thank you. First of all, you have a beautiful smile, Komala. Let me tell you this.
Thank you.
Um, I was born and brought up in Mumbai. I'm from a Gujarati family, very traditional and very conservative. So something about art was very different for the profession what they had. So the
Yeah.
designing artist was not in our blood,
Hmm.
but my father believed in me. He always supported me, whatever I like or whatever I would like to pursue in my profession. He was okay. But I
Hmm.
started my artistic life like in a professional way in Dubai.
Yeah.
Whereas, I learned all the art. What do you say? The traditional, the abstract, or different kind of art in Dubai itself. So it was more of an experimental rather
Hmm.
than just putting up whatever you learn, you put it, and that's the formula of the artist. No, it is not like that. It is
Hmm.
all about you have to feel free to create something
Yeah.
in order to because I come from a conservative family, and to express myself through like art would be a little difficult for them to
Hmm.
digest.
Yeah.
But I said, let me try my way.
Hmm.
I'm married, I have two children, and I'm in Dubai since I would say 1991, and that's
Wow.
almost
Okay.
like 30 years
30
in
years. Yeah.
Dubai. So there was no platform for the artists. I tell you, when I came here, it
Hmm.
was like a desert. Everything is desert in Dubai. And when you have to live in desert, you try to learn, adapt things, and try to adjust things by yourself. So that was my journey. In 2000, it was a transition for me because my
Hmm.
children were grown up and they were on their own a little bit. So that's where I started my journey through art. Like I wanted to express, and it was like I would say that the true art is the characteristic and it's irresistible urge towards creative freedom. So you need to
Hmm.
have that freedom within yourself to create art. That was my learning, first step towards it. So the my each painting, I have a story to tell. So I tell the story through colors, through the elements. If you see my painting behind,
Yeah.
it's a Poseidon. So I talk about the water is blue, and if you know about the Greek god, it has the element of water. So I try to
Hmm.
bring the story in my art, and that's what I would
Yeah.
like to express through colors, figures, patterns, design, and then it becomes like a so realistic art. for me.
So, do you find inspiration in these artistic works, or do you also find inspiration like in your day-to-day activities? Like if you just see a tree, you would draw inspiration through that. So, how does that work?
Uh, Inspiration. I tell you, inspiration comes from just looking at you. Looking
Mm,
at you brings me inspiration. Like inspiration come from the designs next to you, or maybe
yeah.
inspiration comes next to your switch. The how
Mm,
different elements can bring that inspiration. So
mm,
inspiration is not out there, but it's within you. You have to look for it, and every
mm,
time you look for it, you will get it. And if I tell you that I had done the solo exhibition when I wanted to uh, mm, think of the title for my exhibition, for my art, then I was looking what is that element which is common in all the painting.
mm,
So it inspired me to form a subject for my exhibition, like circle of life, or envision enlightenment, or
yeah.
maybe enlightened vision. So everything is inspiration. So if I look for an inspiration, I see the children's, they give me a lot of inspiration. When they draw a crooked circle. They are not drawing this as proper circle, like you need to have a geometry
Mm,
compass for drawing the for circle, but they draw anything. So that inspires me, that beautiful element.
mm. So, you work with a lot of different mediums, right? So, which is your favorite medium to work on?
Ah, my medium, it depends on the my mood. Actually, I'm very moody
Yeah.
in my work, so anything and everything, whenever you want to express something, you need to have come from within. It's not outside. So I feel like,
Yeah.
okay, today I want to do realistic, and I have a time for 4 hours or 5 hours, I'll do the realistic painting. But if I have something abstract, no, I don't want a detailed work, I want to do something abstract version. So I just flash the colors and see what it comes out and what it turns out to be, or something. So it is
Mm,
like, I discover through the my thought process, and I discover what works for my style, what works for my what kind of a style I'm creating. So I
mm.
discover. It is all about Discovery Channel.
And experimenting.
Yes, yes, totally. You need to have that positive vibe. Sometimes it's all about, how positive you feel. Sometimes you feel positive, you want to draw positive things. And
Yeah.
if you are feeling negative, maybe you just want to scribble and waste your papers. But it's not about that. It's all about expressing. So maybe your moods will
Mm,
say you that what you want to express, like during the COVID time it was like horrible times, but still you try to bring that positive within you, and you want to express and see
yeah.
what works for you.
Like you said, you are moody. So, do you have a favorite time of the day that you create art, or you are just very
Ah,
flexible around the timing?
Early mornings are the best time.
Hmm.
Now I feel that all that morning times are given to my children's, my my students.
Hmm.
I enjoy that early morning, that early rise, and you can see that positive vibe, what you can bring, that change, how you can feel fresh. That's all about. So the it's very important that what feeling I carry today, because I want to carry that thought full day, and that
Hmm.
full day will make my positive vibe everywhere. So I try to bring that positive vibe in the morning, and
Hmm.
that makes my ambience, and that's where I create my art. So I need to have a music, I need to have a peaceful effect, and
Hmm.
if my birds are chirping out, and I need to have that element within. So when I appreciate my own stuff, I like to create that
Yeah.
on the canvas. So it is all
Hmm.
about how do I feel. Am I feeling the abstraction version of me, or I want to be a realistic in my artwork, or something like that.
Hmm.
So it is, I prefer very peaceful time, and that carries the whole day.
Yeah. So, like, we are a podcast for teens. So, how would you say that art actually impacts the lives of your students or teenagers in general?
For the teenagers, I tell you, it's very important. It's very important, and not only just they are just scribbling and they want to just make the something, their lives out of it, or they want to bring that. Okay, I want to use it for my career. No,
Hmm.
do art for your maybe a hobby, or maybe if you want to feel that what will bring that beautiful sense of creation. So it's art is all about effective, like how it affects a
Yeah.
person, right? So
Hmm.
maybe if you're creating, you create and see what it encourages you, it encourages your thinking process. Sometimes
Hmm.
they come up with the weirdos. I have taught many teenagers, you see. So when
Hmm.
they come, okay, I want to make my portrait, or maybe I want to draw a portrait of my mother. So they come with that thought process, that I
Yeah.
want to do a portrait for my parents, or maybe for myself. Then what mood they carry, maybe they are carrying any kind of happy thoughts, it will come effectively on their canvas. But sometimes they need to discover their possibilities, that what is the mental and emotional and physical balance which stimulates them. So it is all
Hmm.
about their what will benefit uh, after the process of creating art.
Yeah. So, what would you say the benefits of creating art is?
It's like it will give you mental health. First of all, sometimes you have so many things to say, but everything is inside.
Hmm.
But if you don't express through your words, how you will know that how much you spoke?
Yeah.
So the same similar is for the art. You need to
Hmm.
create something. I know some people
Hmm.
get, I'm not that good artist, but who told you that to be a good artist? Experiment it. Try
Yeah.
out. If you don't try it, how you will get it?
Hmm.
The passion comes within. Afterwards, the passion follows. It
Hmm.
will, you need to first discover your self esteem, how much time you can give for your art, how much
Hmm.
you can excel in it. Like, it's all about dedication, about, enjoying the process, because at the end, you need to enjoy that whatever 2 hours or 3 hours you're putting up, right? Without
Hmm.
that, how can you discover that, what is the beneficial for me? So
Right.
at the end, the effect has to be engaging, and then the creative mind will give you that flow. Okay, I want to do it. Maybe a
Hmm.
traditional art, or maybe you can try a abstract art, a
Hmm.
beginner person who wants to just start with it. Try something. Don't go
Hmm.
academically that you need to work according to your school, but express through your maybe illustration, how you can illustrate things. Bring that illustration in your artwork, and you will see different element, and it will come like very smoothly
Yeah.
afterwards. It's not the
Hmm.
beginning process, it will come on its own later. I tell you,
Hmm.
one of the student I came across, and she was very much um, you know in like I want to do the Picasso's painting. I want to
Hmm.
be like Picasso. But how to discover your style in a Picasso way. It's very important
Right.
to discover yourself, right? You can't
Right.
really okay, copy paste. Maybe I will go through that, just go through with 2 3 paintings of Picasso, understand his style,
Hmm.
understand the artist, how he has created, because he
Hmm.
must have done the realistic art before, and then gradually he has come to the artist abstraction. So it's very
Right.
important that find your own style. If you
Hmm.
want to do Picasso style, understand how you can convert that style into your illustration. So there I help them. If
Hmm.
you're creating 2 friends, how you can break them, how you can make it abstract. Maybe the
Hmm.
body is not the same, The face is not the same, but you're expressing through lines, through doodling, or maybe you're creating some shapes, and then you process the colors. So
Mm.
what colors you will apply, where the primary goes, where the secondary goes, where the territory goes. Then comes the element of how you're going to use this. So it is all about composition.
Yeah. So suppose someone, a teenager, wants to pursue career in art. So how does the person go about it?
Good question. For the career,
Yeah.
like uh if you say that career is not one thing,
Mm.
what is your inspiration saying? That some people are amateur artists,
Mm.
like maybe I'm doing a 10 portraits or 15 portraits, I've done few portraits, and then I want to use that portrait in my career, or maybe I want to become a portrait artist.
Mm.
Okay, I'm giving an example. So in that case, what they will do, they will create their own style, because that's where your style comes in. Career will come automatically. First, you have to master your style.
Right.
Nobody can create your style. It's your signature style you need to create. And then, you build up your career from amateur to the professional artist. It's a
Mm.
journey. It's not like, just you jump into professional.
It
It's a
doesn't happen
business.
overnight. Yeah.
It doesn't happen. It doesn't
Yeah.
happen. You need to have that, your persistence, your inspiration, which you will help yourself to move ahead. Sometimes you create some art, but you don't like it. You've
Right.
just done for the heck of doing it. But that
Mm.
will not pursue your career. You need to be a consistent in your work. You need to show
Mm.
that consistency, that I'm going to visit my canvas and see what I can create. I can create better than what I had done before. So it is just a self discovery. But when you put it on the career has a many elements. It's not about only creation. It's all about choosing your goals and managing your goals. List
Right.
of the benefits of your goals, and then
Mm.
challenge yourself. Then you will grow your career. You
Mm.
need to challenge yourself every time. I have to challenge myself every day.
Mm.
What I can do better than yesterday,
Yeah.
what I can prove myself, and what yesterday I didn't do, I want to do it today. So it is like
Mm.
pushing your boundaries, right? So it is
Yeah.
when you talk about the career, career is a big word, but how you are going to craft it, it's important. How you're going to
Right.
choose your management. Like right now, people make 10 to 50 like paintings, and then they put it on the social media.
Mm.
Social media is a beautiful tool for marketing.
Right.
How you will
Yeah.
market your skills. So this is how you bring your management. Then
Mm.
social media, then website. You have to build your career for building your brand. Your brand is very important. Now everything is personal branding. So this
Mm.
is hand in hand. But when you talk about the personal branding career, you add up into it's a whole package. It's not only one thing. From
Mm.
amateur to professional, it's a journey.
Yeah.
And then you need to have a people who can associate, where you can find the galleries, where you can show your art. You can bring those art pieces in the galleries. People have to constantly see your work growing. That it's
Mm.
not about 50 paintings, it's all about how many changing, how many transition you add in your career. Maybe you
Mm.
have done some abstraction, but you can create something for the people, what they
Yeah.
want from you. So it is
Mm.
all about commission work, how you can grow in commission work. So career is, it's like you can't hang on to, okay, I made 10 paintings and now I'm selling it, and then once I sell it I'll get my career. No, it's like a
Mm.
process. Every
The
day you go
process.
for a work, and then you
Yeah.
have to build up your career. How the things will add up into your the change, how you can improve your career. And then you have to find the venues, the places, the people whom you can help. The plan is not straight for the artist. It's like
Mm.
dig down,
Mm.
go deep in within yourself, how you can bring your the artistic skill which nobody has it, and then
Mm.
you show out into the world, right? It's a two thing.
Right. Yeah.
And now in the virtual life, everything is online. You need to manage, like, you have to show your art piece in such a way that it has to reflect the other person that they wanted to know. So
Hmm.
that's your forte. You need to create that backbone strong for your career to grow. You have to plan your career in such a way that how you will challenge, how you will benefit, how you will put your goals, what you want to create. Write every day that today I'm going to create one piece at a time, and that will
Hmm.
I'll see to the next. Like, every step is a new step, right? Every painting
Hmm.
is a new story. You can't
Yeah.
clink on the last painting that that was my favorite. Oh, I'm so emotionally attached to it, and I cannot let go of that. I've seen those people, who gets emotionally attached. So I say that, are you creating emotionally? That's beautiful. You're putting your emotions, but at the same time, you have to think about your career, how you want to grow. Art industry, it's like, people come and they show their art pieces. It's nice, it's beautiful. Then you have to keep on, showing your art piece
Hmm.
every time. You have to create something where it has to be connected to the audience, as well as it has to be connected to your series. It has to hold on to the how you will make the better version of your creation. That is
Hmm.
the tools what we needed for creation and to be an artist for a longer run.
Yeah.
So it is all about how you build your career. It's from the amateur to mature artist. It's like, people start with their heart. I know all the amateur
Hmm.
artists, they start with their heart, but then they have to make it very professionally. Think as a business. Think as your art as a business. Like, I gave free to my friend. I gave this to my friend,
Hmm.
but you need to monetize. You need to monetize, then only your art will become a business, right?
Yeah.
So thinking of the emotional painting and make it in a terms of a business as a career, it's very important. What are you thinking? What are your emotions saying to it? Because once you say, okay, I did it with my heart, it's beautiful. You do your art piece with your heart, but at the same time you have to understand your time, your value to it, because
Hmm.
at the end people forget about their value.
Yeah.
They just create and gift it, or they just create and give it, but that
Yeah.
is adding a value to your work. So it's very important, what value are you creating
Hmm.
in your career. The art has to bring value to you, which
Hmm.
artists, most of the artists are missing this point into it. They'll
Hmm.
make the career goals, but at the same time it's not a straight line. It has its ups and downs, it has its turns, and you need to be free at this. How you will create those pieces, how you
Hmm.
will create that. I tell you, my most of my painting which I sold, it was done intuitively, and that painting had found the house where I did not expect it, but they are just looking at artists. This is what I want for my home.
Hmm.
That makes
Yeah.
a resonation. Okay, so it was created for somebody, and which was created by me. So it is like,
Right.
I'm the tool of creating this art piece, and it is going to somebody's house. But this art piece, what I created, it's a value.
Yeah.
So then your career grows. It will
Hmm.
not come easy. You need to really dig out what is your style, what is your signature way of creating that art piece.
Hmm.
Make sense?
What, yeah, what I feel is that in this run, that people are trying to create value for others, but rather missing out on trying to create value for their own personal branding. So that's how
Yeah.
you turn from amateur to professional.
Yes, you have to be stop being perfection. There is no way
Hmm.
of being perfection. That I created art and then I became perfect. There is no perfection in the artist.
Hmm.
In the art career, there is no perfection. There is no like a rule, 1, 2, 3. You will go it, you will get it. You become an MBA. No, it's nothing like
Hmm.
that. It's like it's a transition. It's a like it's a way of life. And I believe that don't be perfect in your art, then it
Hmm.
will be like a copy paste.
Right. Yeah.
So it's like, you bring your signature style, or maybe
Mm.
your signature way of, creating your art piece. It becomes like, it only like that person has created, and it's her style. And
Mm.
that's where you find your way of, becoming artist
Mm.
doesn't come, you be a painter, you paint.
Mm.
But an artist is something you really need to come your way of, creation.
Mm. Right.
There's two things.
It.
Painter is creating something copy paste,
Yeah.
but an artist is creating a
Creating.
collection of her style. That's the
Mm.
difference.
So you're displaying the one painting over there of the horse. So is there a story behind it?
Yes, it's a painting of Poseidon, where I was watching a movie of
Mm.
Poseidon,
Mm.
and it's, if you know the Percy Jackson, you know
Yeah.
there was the novel of the Percy
Percy
Jackson,
Jackson. Yeah.
and yes, have you heard about it? Have you read that book? So it was
I did
that
read.
time I was,
Yeah.
yeah, I was watching that movie, and I thought, why not paint that, the element of water. And I was into that time I was creating for the horse show,
Mm.
where I have to portray my kind of a horse in that horse show, because there is a simultaneous going on, the horse show and the art show. So it is
Mm.
like, I wanted to complement the horses, but my kind of a horses, where I wanted to think of, the element of water. So there,
Mm.
there I came with this subject. I did it in maybe 2008, and I had displayed this first time in Trade Center, Dubai, and I think so. After that, I had must have created many paintings of the horses. I sold it also, but it's not like, the same kind. It would be a different elements. Maybe the backside. If I show you, just
Yeah.
can I show you
Yeah. Yeah.
something?
Sure. Yeah.
If I show you something backside, you see the horses?
Yeah. Yeah. Uh,
Yeah.
the
So
one on
that,
the wall, right? Yeah.
yes, that is on the wall. So it is
Mm.
it is all about uh, like, I did it with the charcoal and acrylic. So this
Mm.
is oil painting. That is with the
Mm.
charcoal and acrylic. So every art piece would be a different experiment, but
Yeah.
it brings the thought process running behind. And if I show you one of the art piece which I created, this is going to the museum. Can you see this
Yeah.
art piece?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's, maybe I'll go a little far.
It's like a tree that's coming together, all the trees, right?
Yes, this
Yeah.
painting is
Okay.
going to go to museum in
Mm.
Korea.
Oh,
So it's
nice.
it's for the peace. Like, we are doing the exhibition access of peace, and
Mm.
this is selected by 12 judge around the world.
Mm.
They are doing, after the COVID, the 2 years where we are talking about the peace. We have to bring the peace through art, and that's where this painting is going for to display in the next month. Maybe in the month of September, we're going to
Mm.
have the exhibition in Korea.
Moving on, can you talk your experience of solo art shows that you did?
My experience of the show, it was like, it's a creative thinking. Actually, I did not think of doing the solo exhibition.
Mm.
This is very interesting story which I would like to share. Is that, I was creating my art pieces, and I had a not a particular way of the thing, that what kind of art pieces are those, and what collection could gather. There I had invited one of the curator to help me out
Mm.
to statement to make the statement of the art pieces, what collection I have. There she came and she helped me. Okay, let's break down and see what collection we can create out of it, and we will show in the places. And as an artist, I wouldn't go that, I want to spend so much of money and shell so much of money to, to show my art. Why?
Mm,
So
mm,
I always look for a sponsor who can help me to show my art pieces, and that's where I've been very lucky to have the sponsor every time whenever I wanted to show my art pieces. So
mm,
I had one fertility hospital. They sponsored me, and
mm,
my 40 to 50 paintings were displayed in the hospital for my
mm.
first solo. And
Oh,
second was done in the gallery, which happened 2021, the
okay.
last year, which I did
Mm,
it in DIC, which is the Dubai International Arts Center, which I did it. And every time I come with a different theme, different collection, and that is just a process. The
mm,
day of the exhibition, where it's inauguration, is just like, you go for an exhibition, you go for an examination, and then the people are going to judge you
yeah.
or see your work. That kind of feeling, I get it. But the process, the journey of creating art pieces, maybe a 1 year or something,
Mm.
that's the fun part. I like to enjoy the process rather than the result. I would say that.
Yeah. There are very few people who actually enjoy the process. I mean, they are usually focused on reaching the destination rather than enjoying the whole journey of it.
Yeah, that's where the people make mistake, right? Because
Mm.
at the end, I remember my very early days is when I used to show my art piece every week. Every week I used to go to the market and show my art pieces. Today I made this painting, that painting. I would like to have people's feedback, so I used to go to the art market and show my art pieces, 10 pieces, 20 pieces, whatever I used to make. So
Mm.
that's where I was, getting to know from the people that, how to market my work. And that was my
Mm.
hard 10 years, which I invested. And every single weekend, I used to go to the market and show my art piece, just to show. And
Mm.
then, evaluate what the people would say, what they would come back with the feedback, and what style they like it. And that's where I marketed myself. So I was, promoting my own art pieces. That's how I
Yeah.
did it. And then, it's a process. You can't really, nobody, people will give you a butter, will give you a bread, but to make a bread butter of your career is something, it comes after few stage, after few years, it comes like that. It's not like a 9 to 5 job. It's a
Mm.
24/7 job,
Yeah.
but you have to put your dedication, your hard
Mm.
work, and your hard work pays in a different way.
Yeah. So, any last message for the students or teenagers who want to pursue art not just as a career but as a hobby, and also for the parents who can be more supportive to their children?
Okay, there are many questions in your question. I think so. Can we break it?
Yeah, first we can go on to the students or the teenagers that if they would want to not just pursuing a career but just as a hobby. So, any message for them?
Okay, for the hobby is very good. Just relax. Just relax. I
Mm,
remember we used to do a therapeutic art for the students who wanted to de-stress themselves.
mm,
I used to do for the adults to de-stress themselves. So the mandala art is very beautiful. Then we
yeah.
have intuitive art where you can de-stress yourself through working with the undominant hand. So when you take a hobby art, just do
Mm,
have fun. Just have
yeah.
fun. What colors makes you feel? Maybe you want to do figures, or maybe you want to do, illustration, or maybe digital art, or any kind of art. But stick to it. Enjoy that process. Think that, I will spend 2 hours or 1 hour every day for my hobby. I will
Mm,
invest 1 hour for my hobby and see what it gives you result. It is
mm,
not one day job. It's everyday job or maybe a weekly job, where you will see after a month you will see a difference. So we always say challenge yourself for 30 hours.
mm,
Work for yourself for 30 hours. Give that investment for your hobby 30 hours or maybe 12 hours. So in that you can break down into 2 hours or 3 hours or maybe 1 hour and see the result. I have
mm,
seen changes in my students. So what
mm,
I say, just invest that 30 hours for yourself. Maybe a 10 classes or a 12 classes or maybe 1 hour classes, and invest that and see that what your hobby brings you back to you.
yeah,
And then it will be a rewarding. So I
mm,
always say to the parents who get these children to me, I always say that it's nice to invest, but don't invest in the stationery only. Invest in their productivity. What are
yeah,
they bringing back home?
mm,
So that is important. When you bring that product back home and you see that, okay, today my children have done this, or it's a progress what they have done. Understand their achievement, because people forget
mm,
about their achievement. They will just want to have, okay, how my daughter can be an artist. I
mm,
said, let her enjoy the process rather than, jumping to the artist.
mm,
When I get those kind of a students, parents, I always say, give me 30 hours or maybe give me 45 hours. And let's find out what your children have to give back to you.
mm,
So it is a two-way, right?
yeah,
A teacher's possibilities, bringing their artworks, getting their, understand your student better, because no two student is the same. If one student wants to do a figure, the other wants to do a illustration. So you have to
mm,
understand your child, what your child loves to do. Digital art,
yeah,
go for it. If it's a traditional art, go for it. If it's just a simple, sketching or doodling, go for it. But
mm,
invest your time in your hobby.
yeah. So, how can the parents be more supportive of their kids? Not just in stationery or investing their money, but do they have to take up these classes with the kids, or how do they go about it?
Of course, teacher have to do their part by teaching the art, or maybe if the student is learning by themselves, self-learning, it's nice to invest there where the parents doesn't have to interfere. It's only
Mm,
when it is like and the parents know the children's capabilities and they want to bring the best. In India, it is the saying that art, music and dance is the
dance, yeah,
culture of India.
yeah,
We are the people who hold these resources. You
mm,
have to just tap that, and the
mm,
parents are those who help to see that, and they have to tune it right. Right channeling is very important for the children to grow, to
yeah,
evolve. Now it's so many things opened up, like the online you can learn. There are so many channels where they are teaching differently how you have to use your tools for painting, maybe in digital or maybe traditional. So it is the platforms are many. You have to
mm,
invest your time and efforts.
yeah,
And that I would always say that the parents bring that that value, encouragement. It's very
mm,
important to develop. You need to encourage your children. You can do better. The simple
mm,
3 words, you can do better, makes a lot of difference to the children. I tell you, now people, they yearn to understand what is positive words.
mm,
So bringing that positivity is like, you can be a creative, you can generate creativity through your investment of your time for your hobby.
mm. Yeah. Thank you, Pari Sagar, for shedding light on a very unconventional path, either as a career or as a hobby. And I hope that the teenagers and the parents pick up highlights from this episode, and they encourage their kids not just to take it as a hobby but also as a career, because I think the students have to be encouraged in their own way to find their own style, to not be a Picasso, but to find their own Picasso in their own style. So, thank you for sharing your insights on the art and the art industry.
Thank you for having me, Komal. Thank you.